Hey guys, it's Dale Walker. Well, I got the ZH2 Mr. Gray back off the dyno, back on my lift. So first thing first, I'm going to block off the smog valve and closed course use only. And this bike's not registered, never has been. It's a race bike. Anyway, so instead of showing you every single nut and bolt, I'll just go through and show you how I'm going to do it. So let me grab the camera, and actually I can have my buddy Kurt come over here just for an instant, and then I'll grab the camera because it's hard to do it. So there's three screws that hold the housing on to the supercharger housing against that rubber O-ring. Okay. Then can you just look right here, Kurt, down in here? Can you get that? Those two hoses. There's one big hose, that's a breather, and another small one on another nipple back in here.
I can't see for the light.
I'll get it. Okay. Let me grab the camera and I'll show you that. Okay, there's the two hoses. The big one and see the small one behind? That goes on that nipple right there. You got to get both those off so the whole intake right here will lift up. Okay, then there's two more. The big one right here, I believe this is off the blow-off valve. There's a big clamp. You have to get it from behind. Okay. Then there's a push-in button right here. It's not a screw. It goes into the frame right here. Okay. Just pops in the rubber like a side panel, but it's heavy duty. You can leave this little plug plugged in. That's a sensor. That's all that's there holding this right now. Okay, so this is off. I put tape all over here. You can get a pair of long needle nose and pry in between this and the hose a little bit, or a big screwdriver and carefully get this off. At the same time, you're removing, this is the one we're capping or plugging to the pair valve right here. This is the one. That will reduce the popping, and that will reduce the lean condition that I got right at idle and the very low RPMs. This is a lot more sensitive than most bikes for that. So that's got to be plugged, or the Backlauf plates. But you don't have to do Backlauf plates. This does the same thing. So hang on. What I like to do, can you put a light on there? This is what I used to put in all my kits. Okay? Instead of sliding a vinyl cap over this and making it bigger, and then this has to be lubed up and get on there, you can go to any hardware store. Usually Ace or True Value has these. And the size for this hose, it's going to work perfect, is going to be a 00. Okay? That's industry standard. They'll have different numbers on it, but a 00 cork-shaped rubber plug. And you can use some Armor All on it or some Windex, something like that, and you'll be able to shove that in the hose about an inch or so. And then this nipple will still go all the way in, and this is all stock looking. Okay, and then before you pull this off, you got to take loose your overflow tank. So what I did is I pulled the overflow hose out of these and slid them up, tied it up, left it hooked on. This is snug, it's not going to leak, and I just put a nylon tie around here temporarily, because you can do this whole thing in about an hour. So then you just reassemble it, and that's how you do it. And yeah, that's all. That way you don't really need the block-off plates. Are all clean and everything, but oh, what a freaking nightmare! You have to take the whole intake manifold off the air box, and there's tons of stuff in there. Right here does the same thing, and it's easy to get to. So that's step one. Okay, I started the big hose up on top. I'm readdressing this for you. So I got the big hose, the blow-off valve hose just started maybe 1/4 of an inch. Nothing else on top. And then I've got the big breather hose on next, and this small little drain. That's what I believe it is, just for moisture. Now, see how this still doesn't line up because all the rubber and everything's binding it up. So let me see. This is the easiest one to start. So we'll have to get that, push that. It had a teeny bit of blue Loctite on them. So let me go to the next step for you. Okay, I just did it a couple different ways. Best way is to get your front two hoses, the blow-off valve and the plug pair valve hose, back on the intake ram here, okay? And get that assembled, and the little button that goes in the rubber grommet in the frame. I tried putting one bolt in the supercharger housing, and everything's at an angle. You got to get this on first, get those fully seated on those hoses, get your clamps on. The bottom two, you could do those two first, like I already showed you. That didn't affect it at all. So get this all done. Don't worry about bolting this up in the front yet, because this still gives you a little wiggle room. See there? And they're lining up pretty well. You don't want to strip out this housing, so be very careful by hand, you know. So here's the 3 supercharger housing, little bolts that go in there, 6mm thread, 5mm tool. So yeah, you want to clean these. I already cleaned this one. Use a little bit of brake clean or contact cleaner. It's the best thing to do. Yeah, we're going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on all these. It had a little blue thread lock, so you can just wipe them off. It still has a little on them. You don't do anything with anything else. But then clean them nice and dry, and clean with some cleaner like that. Okay, so then go ahead and Kurt. Go ahead and reassemble those and lightly snug them. I would say if you were going to torque those with an inch-pound wrench, you want to you might want to look in a service manual, but you know, 6 mil is going to be 7 to 9 foot-pounds, but don't break them off. It's on a rubber O-ring. They only need to be snug. So then you can button everything back up. I'm not going to button it clear up again, because I'm going to take the bottom of the radiator loose, put a piece of cardboard on it, bungee it forward just a hair, and I'm going to go back over my exhaust nuts after I ran it on the dyno its heat cycle. I'm going to do that next. Then I'll totally reassemble this part, and then the top panel here I'll leave off, because we're gonna pull the tank off, disassemble the bike. But today I might go ahead and get this buttoned up, take the wheel back off, so I can start dinking with the swing arm extensions first. We'll cut the chain, all that stuff. But let me get this buttoned up, and I'll show you the next video. Okay guys, I took the bottom bolt bracket on the bottom loose. See it down there? I slotted the piece of cardboard, put it across here, and then I bungee corded. It barely pulls this forward, but mainly it doesn't help keep you from doing that. Those are just barely, not doing anything, but down in this area is where the ratchet, and it takes every combination. If you watch me putting this thing on, little short ones with a wobbly, royal pain in the ass. But anyway, they're all re-snugged. A couple of them were just a tiny bit, you know, the gaskets went through heat cycles and compressed, but now I know they're tight. So that's this bolt on the bottom. Can you see it? Yeah, I'm going to clean this, put a little bit of blue Loctite on this, and button that back up, and then get this button back up, and then move on. Okay, one last step. I'll just go over the bolts. So the two cone-shaped 5mm head Allens go right in here. Then you've got one small one no one talks about right there, the black one. That also tightens the intake tube. Okay, and then the coolant, the black one goes in front, the crown head Allen on top, and the hex head with the 10mm head bottom. And that's where you want the coolant, kind of right in the middle, low, high when it's cold. So I'm not touching that. I was going to put a little in it, but I decided not to. So yeah, I went over all the exhaust bolts, and They were good. I think I already told you that. So that's buttoned back up, bottom bolt's Loctited. This whole thing now is tightened up. So, yeah, I think today I'll finish up by pulling the wheel off and maybe getting the extension stuck on there, or partially fitted or something. That'll be it for today. It's already about 3:30. So let's go ahead and do that. Hey guys, I decided I'm going to end this video today just on the intake tube. And so we'll do the other thing. I'm getting tired. So I got this all buttoned up. The next video, I'll go ahead and cut the chain, pull the rear wheel off, probably install the swing arm extensions I've been working on, and we'll go from there. I did get the Spiegler brake line, but I'll get the wheel probably on there, and we'll see, because I got to drain the line, so the whole bike has to come apart to get to the line. The front's underneath the right-hand side of the gas tank. So anyway, I'll see you later. For now, thanks for watching. If you like this little tip here, which I think is helpful, give me a thumbs up and comment and say hi. Subscribe if you want. So I'll catch you later. Stay safe. Love you guys. Thanks.